Many election observers of Nigeria's presidential election claim it was the most credible they have seen in a long time. But a panel of experts and Nigerian officials in the U.S. gave it a mixed review. VOA's Mariama Diallo reports.
Goodluck E. Jonathan of PDP, having certified the requirements of the law and scored the highest number of votes, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected.
It was a short-lived celebration for newly elected Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan. Almost immediately after the official announcement, opposition supporters claimed the vote had been rigged. As a result, violence erupted in the northern part of Nigeria, where homes, shops, churches and mosques were set on fire. The Red Cross says more than 400 people have been injured and some 40,000 displaced. Media reports say as many as 50 may have died. Former Botswana President Festus Mogae was one of the international observers for the election. He called it free and fair.
The elections for the National Assembly and the presidency were both credible and creditable, and reflected the will of the Nigerian people.
But opposition supporters disagree.
The problem with this election began after the voters have voted.
In Washington, former government minister Nasir El-Rufai, who supported losing candidate Muhammadu Buhari, admits Nigeria has made progress over previous elections. But he says the results were manipulated in a way that made the Buhari camp suspicious.
I think it's a major improvement, but unless and until we find a way to get results of elections at polling unit level going direct to the chairman of INEC, without any human intervention, without any ability to change the numbers, we are not going to have credible elections in Nigeria.
Dr. Peter Pham, an observer who just came back from Nigeria, says the election was overall the fairest he has seen, though he says there were a few imperfections.
We saw underage voters. We saw in some rural constituencies where party officials were perhaps conducting business in the electoral precincts or having too much of a role in the process. The imperfections are things we can work on in the future, but by and large a credible process.
Former Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs, Jendai Fraser, says the elections were clearly a step in the right direction. But she says Mr. Jonathan's biggest task is yet to come.
It's unfortunate that there seems to be a north and a south split, and it's going to be important for President Goodluck Jonathan to reach out to the northerners, to bring them in to that national identity as Nigerians.
Fraser also urged that all grievances be processed through the Nigerian courts.
But I think it's critically important when you have a disagreement to take it to the court as a legitimate institution for arbitrating between two different political parties.
Defeated presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari has said originally he wouldn't go to court, but his party has now filed an official challenge. At the same time, though, Buhari is urging his supporters to calm down. Mariama Diallo, VOA News.